This morning I'm in the kitchen making biscuits and gravy for breakfast. This has always been a breakfast favorite for me. I remember as a kid always ordering biscuits and gravy anytime we went out to a breakfast restaurant and being super excited anytime my mom would make it at home. As an adult, I still love it, and I also really love how easy it is to make. Plus, if you have properly sourced ingredients, this comfort food can actually be a good superfood. Just like I was as a kid, all of my kids love biscuits and gravy too, so this is a breakfast that gets into our regular rotation. For the biscuits, I'm following the recipe on our cast iron skillet cooking blog, which I'll have linked for you below. They are a buttery honey biscuit and they pair perfectly with the sausage gravy. For the gravy, I start out by browning some sausage and adding in some diced onions and minced garlic. I love adding in onions and garlic into almost everything I make. I use a lot of onion and garlic powder in my cooking, but nothing gives it more flavor than the actual garlic and onion. I once saw a meme that said, I'm the type of cook that when a recipe says 2 garlic cloves, I add 8 or something like that. And that is so me. No matter how many garlic cloves a recipe calls for, I always add a few extra. I often get asked why I make such big meals for every meal and why don't you make something simple like frozen waffles or toaster strudels or Pop-Tarts or cereal. And honestly, when you have a large family, cooking a bigger meal to me seems like it takes less time and it's a lot cheaper, because it would take several boxes of Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels to fill my crew up, and also just a lot of time, putting everything into the toaster because I can only do a couple at a time. So making a really big meal like this, honestly, is just the faster and more efficient way when you have a larger family. All right, so while I'm cooking, I always use any little pockets of time to clean as I go. I find this to be the easiest way to stay on top of things and not let the dishes pile up. Plus, I notice the quicker I get dishes done or even soaking, the easier it is to clean them because nothing will stick on them. Mid dishes, the baby woke up from a little nap, so I had to transfer him down to the floor. He is crawling now and he loves to play with wooden kitchen utensils, measuring cups, pot holders, pretty much anything I can get for him. And I put them down on the floor. He will crawl around and play while I am in the kitchen cooking or cleaning. He is at such a fun, sweet age. I'm always saying, pretty much with every age, I just find that each stage of babies and kids are so cute in their own ways. All right, guys, I want to take a quick moment to thank today's video sponsor, Hiya. Several years ago, I was on the search to find some good, healthy vitamins for my kids, and I realized really quickly that that was going to be way harder than I thought, because typical children vitamins are loaded up with just so many ingredients that I do not want my kids having, especially in their vitamin. Lots of sugars, unhealthy chemicals, gummy junk, and so after doing a lot of research, I decided to try out the vitamins Hiya. So whenever they reached out to me many years later about doing a sponsored video for them, I was super excited because we were already very familiar with the vitamins and already have used them a lot in the past. The thing I love most about Hiya is that they are made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk. It's non-GMO, dairy-free, vegan, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, yet it still tastes great and it's totally kid approved. If your kids are anything like my kids, they will love taking their vitamins. In fact, every single one of them reminds me daily about getting their vitamins because they love them so much. So in the morning, they're like, I have to take our vitamins. We have to take our vitamins. 93% of kids don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, and Haya fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with a yummy taste that they will love. The thing that I love about Haya is that they come with a glass refillable container. So then each month you will just get your vitamins that you need. You could pour it in there and you don't have a lot of extra waste. The bottles also come with stickers so your kids can decorate their bottle if they want. So my daughter put her name on hers with the stickers, added a few extra ones, so then each of them know which one is theirs whenever they go to take their vitamins in the morning. Haya arrives straight to your door on a pediatrician recommended schedule. Your first month comes with a reusable glass bottle your kids can personalize with stickers. Then every month after that, Haya sends a no plastic refill pouch of fresh vitamins. And this I love because Haya is not only great for your kids, it's also really good for the environment. If you are searching for a healthy vitamin for your children, Haya is offering my subscribers 50% off their first order. You can go to hayahealth.com/ouroilyhouse or use the link in my description box below. All right, guys, today for lunch I'm making a meatloaf. Meatloaf is one of those fast foods for me because it takes very little time to get it prepped. Currently, my freezer is empty and I'm waiting on my next big bulk meat pickup from my sister's farm. The steer is at the processors right now and it'll be ready hopefully in the next week or so. So last Sunday when I was at my parents' house, I grabbed about 15 pounds of ground beef to hold this over until my order is ready. My sister keeps all of her meat in her big freezer out of my parents' house, so anytime I'm out there I will just kind of pick some assortments of things that I need. And right now, just because we are almost ready to pick up our new big bulk order, I just got some ground beef, so I'm going to be making a lot of hamburgers, meatloafs, and other meals that use ground beef because that is all that we have for the next few days until we get the other cuts of meat. For the meatloaf, I'm combining together a couple pounds of beef, salt, pepper, 2 eggs, about a half cup of breadcrumbs, diced onions, and shredded carrots. I love adding shredded carrots into my meatloaf for the flavor and just for extra nutrition. It's a real easy way to add some vegetables into your kids' diets if that's something that they aren't great about eating. I find that adding it into soups and stews and meatloafs and things, it's just a great way to sneak them in. Also, we have a bunch of garden fresh carrots right now, so this is a great way to use some of them up. While the meatloaf is baking, I'm adding in some sweet potatoes to bake as well for a side. They take about the same amount of time as the meatloaf, so they make the perfect side dish for this meal. When they are done, I'll just mash them up, add a little bit of butter and cinnamon. My kids are obsessed with sweet potatoes, and I swear they would eat as many as I make. If I make 2 bags of sweet potatoes, they eat every single one of them. They all are just obsessed with them, especially if I add a little bit of honey on top. I also served the meatloaf with corn and sauerkraut. Ideally, I would be doing corn on the cob this time of year, but since I didn't have any in the garden, I'm just steaming some organic frozen corn, adding in a little bit of butter and salt and pepper. This afternoon, I'm in my sunroom taking some pictures for the blog. We actually end up taking almost all of our pictures out in this sunroom because my kitchen and dining area are a little bit too dark for my preference for photography. So I just take out a little white makeshift like marble board that looks like a countertop out in my sunroom and do almost all of my photography out here for both of our blogs. Now, while I was out here, I also noticed that the sunroom needed some cleaning. And so after I was done with my photography, I got the sunroom all cleaned up. This room is a very high trafficked room this time of year. And we spend so much time out here reading, watching TV, playing games, eating, just hanging out as a family out here in this room. It is so nice. It has a fan in here. So with the fan on, it's just the most beautiful place to be any time during the summer and springtime. So we spend so much time out here, so it oftentimes gets dirty and needs a freshening up. So today I'm actually moving all the furniture and vacuuming the rug, because like I said, we do end up snacking and eating meals out here for watching a family movie or having a game night or something. And so it just gets messy. And like I said, I was out here taking pictures and noticed that it needed a little sprucing up. All right, so after I got the sunroom cleaned up and all of my photography done, I had made myself an afternoon tea. I am a person that does not drink coffee. All of my coffee drinkers in my life, my husband included, and some of my sisters, cannot believe that I can even survive or have a happy life without coffee. But I don't know, it's one of those things I feel like I don't have enough time to make it, which I know if you're a coffee maker, you would disagree with this, but in the morning, I don't know, I cannot find the time. But I know if you're a coffee drinker, you find the time to make it. But I will say in the afternoon, I love to enjoy a special drink, and sometimes it's coffee. I'm not totally against coffee, it's just not my drink of choice, I guess. And so today I'm making a blueberry matcha tea. One of my sister-in-laws has a blog, it's called Daily Tea Time, and she shares the best, special tea drinks. And so I'm constantly looking at her blog for new tea ideas, and I love anything with matcha in it. And this is a blueberry matcha tea. I will link this recipe for you guys down below. You should check out her blog if you like tea, because she has every type of recipe you can think of, and this tea is just so good. I've already made it several times, and I'll probably be making it all throughout the summer because it's iced and it is so good. So I'm just gonna enjoy this today out of the sunroom with a little bit of quiet time before I have to go get dinner started. All right, so I'm starting to get creative here with my ground beef until I pick up my order next week. And so tonight for dinner, I'm making a creamy potato hamburger casserole. This is a similar dish to something that my mom made all the time when I was a little kid. She added in some red sauce to hers, so it's not exactly the same, but it is definitely the same concept. So for this, I'm just starting off by browning some hamburger meat and adding in some diced onions and peppers just to give a little bit more flavor. I also added in some spices while I was cooking, And then I peeled and cut some potatoes and cut them into rounds about a 1/4 inch thickness. And then I made a sauce that we will be using for this. For the sauce, it's just some butter, flour, a little bit of milk, and it's gonna make a nice creamy sauce to make into this casserole. All right, so you guys may notice that I had an apron change mid-video. I wear my apron about 90% of the day, so I thought it was time to get a new one. So I sat down a couple days ago on Amazon and searched up aprons and found one that I really liked, and it came today, and I was so excited to try it out, and I just love it. I figure if my apron is shown more than even my clothes, I might as well have one that I love, and the other one was several years old, was very stained up, so it was definitely time to get a new one. I will add the link to my new apron and also in my new summer outfits that I've been wearing in the past videos. I've been getting a lot of questions about those, so I will put a link for that down in my description box below. While my casserole was in the oven cooking, I tidied up the kitchen a bit and got all of the scraps out to the chickens. Anytime that I am peeling potatoes or cooking with onions and garlic, I will take all the extra vegetable scraps out to the chickens, and they love it, and I love that I'm not wasting anything. I find that if I just do a little bit of cleaning while the dinner is baking, then it'll be way more manageable after dinner because we already have a tidy kitchen, and I just really enjoy the mealtime more if my kitchen is put back in order. While I was outside bringing the scraps out to the chickens, I noticed that I had my first several blooms on my zinnias. So I went ahead and cut some of those and made a little arrangement for the coffee table. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As mentioned, I'll have links to all the different meals and things that I'm using down in my description box below if you want to check that out. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I get out a new video every single week.